Morning guys. That was a bit squeaky. These are all the products I'm going to use today for today's card. We're going to do a somewhat old style, but I saw it on Pinterest and I thought that would be a nice idea to do for a sort of fall card. And so we're going to create a shaped card today. Really easy to do. So don't worry about it, and there's lots of shadows today, sorry about that. Super easy to do, so I'll just, as I go through, I'll walk you through all the products I've used. So if I get the ink out the way, we are going to use Distress Oxide in tumbled glass and peeled paint, and I've got a couple of sponge applicators here. These are the Tim Holtz ones, but you can easily use a little sponge dauber thing. I think they like finger puppet type ones, if that makes sense. And Extreme Black ink is one of my favourites at the moment. You can use it with Copic markers or alcohol markers, but it's waterproof as well, so you can use it with your watercolours. So we're going to use that. Now, to make the card, I've used Spellbinder's classic scallop circles in the small size, and I've used the largest one in that set. And what I've taken is a standard A2 card folded in half long ways, so it would have been 11 by 4 1/4, folded at 5 1/2, and I've just used where the score line is, so where the fold is, I've put the die just slightly over the edge, and that way you create the hinge for your shaped card. So when I take the die off, so we don't need that now, you're left with this piece which has got the gap here and you're also left with your shaped card with a little hinge in the middle. Cute, huh? So that's what we're going to do. And also you can use this top folding like so, opening, sorry, or you can do sideways. I guess with the other stand not too badly, so maybe we'll go sideways just because it looks like it might stand a bit better, but that doesn't matter, does it? So you can keep that for scraps. So that's the first part of the card, so I'll just get that out of the way. Then I needed a layer, so I found, although this is a full card, I found some paper from an old stack. I'm not sure, I haven't caught up or kept up too much with Stampin' Up at the moment, although I am thinking about going back into it. Is the Warmth and Cheer Designer Series paper stack from Stampin' Up, and this I got last year before, I'm not sure, might have been the year before, but there's some really lovely Christmassy sort of, like, some of them look like knitted jumpers and that sort of thing. Really pretty paper. So I've decided to use one out of there because I haven't got many plaid type backgrounds, papers. I found one that I thought would work enough with it. And again, I've used the, let's see, oh, where's it gone? Oh, here. I've used the Spellbinder standard circles in the small size again, and I've used the largest one to cut out what will be the layer. So that will sit, you can see that, that will sit on top of there. And I just thought the colours worked for fall. There's like a green and a, in fact I can tell you the colours in the stack. We had Basic Black, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Delightful Dijon, Green Garden Green, can't read today, and Whisper White. So you've got the Garden Green, the Delightful Dijon, the Black, Basic Black, Crumb Cake. So they're nice fall type colours, so they're not too overpowering as far as like being Christmassy, whereas like that is, to me, is more Christmassy than the other one. Then I've taken some more I don't know if I mentioned, this is chocolate chip Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I've taken a panel, because I have a lot of pre-cut cardstock, and I've taken a panel and I've used, again out of that small circle, standard circles stack, I've used then this next, so 1, 2, so the third one in on that stack, and that creates again another layer for there. So you want to see enough of this, I think, so it's pretty paper. So that's that one. And then I have another piece of white, Whisper White cardstock, and again I took the next size down, so this will be the 1, 2, 3, 4th circle in, be this one, and I used that to cut the white layer, which will go in there. And I also have a strip that I cut off of the end here, and it's about what's that, about 1/2 inch, and I basically just measured up with the, we haven't even talked about the stamp set, I measured the size of the what's it called, sentiment and just kind of guessed from there. I may have even cut it a bit skew, but that's okay. And then we're also going to use this to stamp the images. So these are all the layers that we've got, and I'm just wondering whether this is too big a gap, whether I want a smaller circle, if you know what I mean. I'll have a think about that, or a bigger version of the white. I might do that. Let me do that and I'll come back. Right, so that's much better. So if you see here, this is the border around there that we had before, which is fine, but I didn't really want that bigger border. So what I did to get the smaller border, which I just think makes it look neater somehow, and also you've got more area here to work with, is I used the Spellbinders standard circles in the large set, and I used the 4th one in. So same number in, but just on the larger Spellbinder die. So if I just get that back in there just to get it out of the way. Right, so I don't know what I'll use that for, but it doesn't matter. And then the stamp set that we're going to use is Lawn Fawn's Caramel Apple stamp set, and I'm going to bring in my, see if I can get it to work in here because it's rather large. And this is my Tim Holtz stamping platform. So if I just, oh, crash. Right, so what I'll do is I'll do it up here so that you guys can see me stamping. So like I say, it is quite a big stamp platform, but it's great. I have the other little one. I have what's it called? It's the can't think what it's called now. Can't think. Hampton Art, that's it. Hampton Art stamp. And yeah, and I have that, and and that's great because it is a smaller platform, but I'm loving this one at the moment. So I'm just going to ink it up. You can't see that bit, but and then we're just going to press it down. Nice thing about stamp platforms is that providing your paper is stuck down enough, you know, like with the magnets, and held in the same place, you can go over and over and over until you get the perfect stamp. So for me that's spot on. Oh, I need a cleaning device. Right, so my very dirty chamois that I use for most of my stamping, well no, all my stamping really, and that's actually just a cheap one. I know you can get like a Lawn Fawn have one, Stampin' Up! I believe have one as well, but that's just a cheapie from, you know, just a good old chamois that I cut up. I think I got a set of, I think there were 2 in a pack or something for £1, £1 so, you know, easy. Right, so there's our stamped images. We're going to colour those in a minute. While I'm here, I'm going to attempt, I'm not actually going to use the platform. I'm going to use an acrylic block. Is that crazy? That seems silly, doesn't it? Right, let's go with this. You're the... I didn't think about how long, did I? It should fit. It'll fit. It'll fit. It'll be fine. Let's just see. You're the little apple of my eye. In fact, if I do it from this end, right, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get the blocks, which I know seems crazy, but I want to use a red ink. So I'm going to use, let's go with Real Red Stampin' Up! Ink. This is what happens, you'll end up bringing ink in from wherever. So I'm just going to ink that up, and then somewhere in the middle I'm going to stamp Caramel Apple in red. Oh, keep that flat. Sort that out later. And then I'm going to go back in here, my black ink, and of my eye, which I don't think this is gonna interfere, so of my eye there, and then I'm going to pick it up on the other side of the block and do You're the. Oh, that's a bit swonk. Fine. It's alright, it's your project. This is also to give you some ideas of what to do for, you know, for crafting and things. So I'll sort those out later. The other thing I want to do on here is just take a pair of snips. It's a bit old school, but you cut down the middle, and then you go from the corner to the middle, like so. And then I find it easier just to turn it over and do the same thing again. And I never get them even, so then it creates your little banner. So same thing there. Flip it over. Clean that up later, and then you've got your little banner. Cool. So let's start putting this together, I think. So I'm going to start with these guys. I know we've still got to colour the image in. I usually do that the other way around, actually. I usually, you know, colour and then put the card together, but we're mixing it up a bit today apparently. It's Saturday, husband's sorted for now, so, oh, and I need that, so we can't do that one yet, and I can't do that one yet, so actually I can't do much of that yet, but anyway. So let's just get this on Oh, hold on. My trusty little tool. It's just a craft pick. Loads of companies have them. And it just helps if you, because some of the adhesives can be quite expensive. So buying it on a roll like this is so much cheaper. Just make sure it's acid free. Especially if you're going to put it on scrapbook pages and that sort of thing. So we've got our card there, and I think I might stick with it going this way. I don't know why, but no, I'm going this way. Honestly, at this point it doesn't really matter because your plaid's just going to go on there. See if I can get this somewhat even. Good enough. Right, so that's part one. So let's colour and then I'll ink. So I'm going to use some Copics today, and I'm going to, let's just do the little bow. I've got YG03 and YG06. I actually have asked for some of these for my birthday, so yeah, we'll see what happens. So you can't see a lot of shading or anything on these, not too much anyway, but it's just a hint of the colours. Let me zoom you in. And then I've got R59 and R29, totally different angle, different part of the, what am I trying to say, like the colour palette and how it works. But we're going to go with it today. This is for my apple part. I am at a bit of a weird angle here. So let's go. I'm trying to get a bit of shading going on, but I'm no expert, so I'm still learning all this sort of thing. And because these aren't quite in the colour family, that's what I was trying to say. Because they're not quite in the same colour family, it takes a bit more work to blend them, that's all. That's the apple. Then I thought for this part, sorry, this is E37 and E35, I would just use those to create the stick. A bit more E37. Right, and then for the caramel I'm going to use E35 and E33. So let's see. Oh, I'm opening the wrong end. There's a bit of shading coming together there. Not bad. Not the best. I kind of need, let's go in with E37 and just get a little more of an intense colour. Yeah, that sort of worked. Sort of not. Right, something I forgot to put on him was his little face. So we're going to grab another block. And where's my ink gone? This one. Just going to stamp his face. Or her face. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. Anyway, so that's that. So that's the colouring portion of that part. So now we're going to use this white piece. And what I want to do is create like a sky and a... Oh, let's get some stuff out of the way. A sky and a grass area. So I'm just going to grab a piece of post-it tape and I'm just going to find an area, line it up using my grid mat like so. So I've just got an area at the bottom. I'm going to turn this around so I can actually use it to do the sky. So, wrong way around. So this is Distress Oxide in tumbled glass. And I'm just going to go onto here. Small circular motions. Not heavy-handed, like be really light with this. With your applicator, and even then I still sometimes get lines. And you can intensify it if you need to. Just going around the edges. And it's alright if there's a bit of like white. Oh, you can't see that too well, sorry, I'm slightly out of frame. And that's okay too. You know, it will add to sort of a cloudy, it's very subtle. I don't think you're going to be able to see it too well on camera. I'm just going to take my chamois. Clean that up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to line this up on the grid mat, take this off, and then, if I can, line it up again. Oh, I've moved it. With the lines. So I've got at least a horizon. Is that the word? Horizon. Right, so this is peeled paint. And again, just really lightly going in there. This one you probably want more of a actual line, because you want it to look like there's an actual horizon, if that makes sense. So you want more of a harsh line, whereas the sky bit, you're going to have some clouds, you're going to have, you know, clouds, it's not all completely blue, if that makes sense. Right, I don't even think technically it's blue, but you know what I mean. And there you have your little scene, if you will. So again, let me just clean this up. Get the ink off here. A little squeaky chamois. And then I will bring you guys out a bit more. Right, so there's our card. And we're going to now, this will go on top of this. I need to cut these out, so I'm going to go and cut them out on my Scan and Cut, because like I said before in previous videos, I love my Scan and Cut for that kind of thing, as well as stamps that you don't have coordinating dies for, but there is a coordinating die set that you can actually buy for this particular image, so and stamp set. So I will be back. Right, so here's the two pieces cut out. Very cool, huh? Anyway, so we're going to now put this little guy together. So for this piece I'm just going to add some adhesive all over it. Get off. And where's my little picky up thing? So I hope you've been enjoying your autumn, fall, Halloween, you know, the card series that are all over YouTube. And if you haven't seen mine, then be sure to check them all out. I'd love to see what you think of them. And if you've got you know, any requests of, you know, certain types of cards, you know, maybe you want to see more kinetic cards, that sort of thing. Let's try and get this on here in the middle as we can. So that's that one there. And I'm going to bring my card in. That's going to go there. Do I want that flat? No, I think I want it popped up. So I'm just going to use some 3D foam dots, pop dots, whatever you want to call them. You can use the tape as well. You can use the 3D foam tape. That'll work just fine. Just have to cut it up. I just find this easier, especially when I'm doing videos. So I'm going to have this open sideways. So I'm going to try, she says, and get this in the middle and somewhat level. Meh, not too bad. Oh, actually it lines up pretty well with that line on the the foam. How funny. So again, I'm going to put some dots on here. Don't know if I need one up there. Got a half one here. Oh, it just about fits. We'll use him. We'll use him. And he's going to go just in the middle there. I want him that. Oh, actually I need to figure out where this guy's going to go. I think he's got it at the bottom, so I'm going to have him sitting about there, or her, and then I'll have this just underneath there. So we'll figure that out in a minute. I'm going to put his little, oh, I've got some glue dots somewhere. Just going to use a glue dot just because it's such a tiny little piece. Use a glue dot on the, what we're going to make into a bow. You could have this as a bow tie for a boy, and that'd be really cute as well. See if I can do this with me big old nails. Look, isn't she cute? Right, so what you need to bear in mind for this is that this needs to stick flat and this bit needs to be raised, otherwise you're going to land up with it going all wonky, which if you want that, that's fine. You can do that too. You know, that's not a problem. So I think I've got some smaller foam squares. I think I'll just use some of the little ones either side. I need to kind of work out where it's going to be. So about there. And about there. So I've put it directly on the, can you see that? I've put them directly on here, but what you could do is actually put them on here and then stick it down. And basically it will keep this level because you've got dimension underneath here, but this obviously is the flat part, so when it's sitting on here it's flush, whereas on this bit you need to raise that part up. So I think we're there. Let's get a bit of tape at the back here off. And then all that's left, she says, all that's left will be to add some bling. Gotta have bling. And I don't know why I try and put things straight, because I really don't do it very well. So ah. Can you tell I'm concentrating? Ah. There you go. That'll do. And this will fit in a standard envelope as well, so don't worry that this is off the edge here. And he should sort of stand. He kind of stands. He might be a little off centre. Right, so my favourite part is all the embellishing. So apologies if this is a really long video, but I haven't done one of these for a while. So this is just a Sakura glaze pen in black, and I'm going to use some, this is Nouveau, what is this, glitter gloss. And I thought what I'd do is I'd put the glitter gloss on this little doodad. Super shiny. And then I thought what I'd do, which I should have done before I actually glued the bow down. This is crystal glaze, and it'll give the, oh no, this is the we're alright, this is the caramel. So we're going to caramelize, we're going to, always bubbles everywhere, we're going to make the caramel shiny like it would be. And this, I'm not even pressing on it, it's just coming out of the bottle. It's quite a lot liquidy compared to glossy accents, and glossy accents is great. It also takes longer to dry than this, but I still think they're both a great product to have. I feel like something's missing here, so where is the stamp set? That's what we've got. There. Let me see if I can find just a little heart or something. Do you think? No, I'm going to leave it like that. So that's your, can you see the shine on the glossy? Obviously you want to leave this flat to dry, because, well, I've never left it other than flat, so I don't know what would happen. I guess it would roll off, or might be a bit lopsided. But that's the And I don't know if you can see the shimmer on the little bow as well. But all those little things like that, like just adding a glossy bit or adding a bit of shimmer adds another touch to the card. So there we go. It's fairly simple and it's fairly quick. I mean, obviously I've talked you through it, so it takes a bit longer to do that kind of thing. There's a bubble there. But it's not a difficult card to make, and I think shaped cards should be making a comeback because they're just a nice thing. I mean, you can make a shaped card out of anything, any of your dies. You think about, or maybe not any of them, but if you think about the outline shape of the die, you could make a shaped card out of probably a lot of them. So yeah, so it's a little card, but you're the caramel apple of my eye. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for all the likes and subscribes. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell that lets you know when I've done another post or another video. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Happy fall. Bye.